that copy dot obj a equal to obj dot copy, that syntax
Yes.
was there.
Yes.
Means can you explain that once?
Actually, here what we are doing, okay, now you are writing let copy inside one method class A. Okay, inside class A method, you are writing copy method. So our main aim is to copy the internal object. So inside this class A, there is another object, class B object. So here it is the object. Now, how am I supposed to copy the variables inside this class? I have to call the copy method of this class, right? Yes. Inside my object, let I have some variable 1, variable 2. So whatever the method, like even if simple shallow copy also, I am able to copy this one. But like whatever the variables here, let data and address. I don't have, and here I can simply write inside the copy method. That copy dot data equal to this dot data. That means whatever the data value here you have inside class, copy those values and store here. At the end, I am doing return copy. So return copy means whatever the method stored inside here, it will store those, it will return those values. So it will return here data value, and that data value equal to this one. Now, same way I can copy object also. So I can write copy dot object. Now here, if I'm writing this dot object, then it will think it as a variable. And here I don't have any variable with object. So here what it should return for this object, it should return whatever the values inside this class getting copied. One way you can call one by one. It has two variables now. So copy dot object dot variable 1 equal to this dot object dot variable 1. Like this, let it have 10 variables. So you have to write it 10 times. So instead of doing this, what we are doing, we are writing a copy method inside the class B and we are calling that method. So simple, I can write copy dot object equal to object dot copy. So it will go to object here, and whatever the copy method we have defined here, it will call that copy method. Whatever the value that copy method will return, this will be assigned to here. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. Just give me 1 minute time. Okay. So just can I stop sharing? Okay, here it is. Okay, so now, so in the class part, class constructor, this pointer, extend keyword, static function. So all these things you just remember its definition and its uses. When I will give you some assignment, at that time you will have to implement all those things. So once you are implementing, you will know where to use what kind of thing. Okay. So extend, static, then yesterday different copy methods. So now next one is inheritance. That is the advantage of your class plus polymorphism. Polymorphism, it is the important one. Okay, because this concept we will be using in UVM. Okay, so definition wise, you have to remember it. Okay. So first is what is inheritance. Inheritance means you can extend a class from another class. Now that extended class is known as the child class. Okay, or we can simply say extended class also, and the another class, it is known as base class, or you can say parent class also. So now what is the advantage of doing like this? So child class will be able to access all the methods and properties of parent class. Okay, let you are writing one checking method. Okay, one check method. That check method you may need in different 4 classes. Okay, that is required in different 4 classes. Okay, then what we will do? One way is write all 4 write that check method in all 4 classes. You can do like this. Okay, that is the normal way. Another way is declare that check method in one class, extend 4 classes from that class and use that method. You can easily use it. Okay, so in the UVM, if we will move to UVM, in SP will be not using that much. Okay, but in UVM, if we will move to UVM, there whatever the library that is stored inside the base class. So whatever the user defined class, like you will be defining the class, that is mostly will be an extended class. User defined class will be extended class so that we can use redefined methods. Okay, so this is the advantage of inheritance. We will see here. This is one class A. Function display then dollar display inside class A, and your data value equal to, it will display what is your data value. Okay. So now this my class, it is extended from the class A. So class my class, it is extended from class A. So now extended, extends class A. So extends class A means now this my class is a child class of class A. It can access this one as well as this one. So function display, here I can write inside child class. So I have created one memory and I am just calling the display function of object one. Nothing else. Okay. These things I can do. Just check whether there is any compilation error or not.
917 ma'am, 2 end function.
Okay, end function 2 times. Yes. Okay. So now what I have done here, is displaying anything or not? Yes. Okay, so now this is my parent class. So okay, inside the parent class, I have one data method and I have one display method. Okay, so now in the child class, I have defined another display method. Just forget about this display method now. Okay, just concentrate on properties. So I have one properties data. Now you can see inside this child class, have I declared any data variable?
Yes.
Where I have declared data? I have not declared any variable data, right?
Yeah,
But directly I am using data. If it is from another class, I will be writing object name dot variable name. But here I have not written. I am directly accessing the data. from class A. So how I am able to use it? Because this class is the extended class from class A. Now I am just removing this one. Okay, now you will see one error that this data, it is undefined. So undeclared identify data. But if I am extending it from the class A, then I can use this variable data directly. Understood the concept of inheritance?
You go to that notepad. What is that? Yeah. So you told about check method. What exactly is the check method?
Okay, check method is that okay? It is I just said from the checking point, like from practical point of view. Let you have one duty, you are just verifying that duty. You have certain conditions. Okay, if these signals come like this, then I should be getting output like this. Just take an example of a counter. So or let up counter, down counter. So you have written one check method. If select is equal to 0, then my count should increase. If select equal to 1, then my count should decrease. Like this, you have written one check method to check the functionality. Now that check method may be required some other places. Let that counter is also used in some other part. So you may need that check method in some other places. So instead of writing again that check method, what you can do, you can write it inside one class and you can inherit your child classes from the parent class and directly you can use it without creating any object for that class. Okay, so now here, that I was giving one example. Okay, so now here you can see I have not created any memory for this class, for class A. Okay, so here memory is created for the child class, right? Then how parent class memory is getting called? So remember, whenever you are creating a memory for child class, okay, when new function is called inside the child class, automatic this super.new means this is the new function for the parent class. If it is using super keyword, that means it is for the parent class. Super.new for parent class will be called. So you don't have to assign a memory for the parent class. Okay, directly you can think just my child class, it is a separate class and you can use whatever the variable you want to use. But if you are using with respect to another class, then you have to create the memory for that class also. But here by default, the memory will got created and you will be able to access those variables and properties. Understood the concept of inheritance?
Means ma'am, parents class default the memory will be created.
But means a default. We will be not when we will be calling this new function. It will check whether this class has any parent class or not. If it has any parent class, then it will call super.new method for the parent class, and memory for parent class will get created.
Okay, means it will not means. We will not do here anything. Super.new will not do, but
Super.new automatically you can see here. If that memory is not created, it will be giving me error. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So now this inheritance method understood, everyone. So now what I'm doing here, I'm just writing two same names. Okay. Here it is. This is my base class method and this is my child class method. Both have the same name or same prototype, you can say. Now, whenever I am calling this object one.display, which display method it should call? It should call child display method or parent display method? Child. Okay. So actually what is happening here? Whatever the parent methods, if I'm writing same function prototype, then it is just overriding the parent method. Now I will not be able to use the parent method. So whenever I'm calling, it will be called the child method. Okay, so now you can see if I'm calling here display, it will display this inside child class, not inside parent class. So inside child class. Now I want to call the method inside parent class also. Whatever the base class method, I want to call that method also. So at that time, I have to use super keyword. So these things you have to manually write because you have manually written this function. So here also manually you have to write super dot display. So here it will be able to, now it will call the parent class method. Okay, so now inside parent class. So what is this super keyword? Let me write here. Whenever base class and extended class has same prototype or same method prototype, then in the extended class, the method got overwritten. If you want to use base class method, then use super keyword. This super keyword you will be used to you will be able to use base class method. So this is applicable when they have both like same prototype. I'm just changing their prototype. Okay, so here I'm writing display that does not have a default value.
You have created handle for my class.
Okay, just no, here it is giving, I don't know why it is giving error here. Test 24. No, actually, just what is happening here. No, what should happen here? Okay, maybe in this tool it is not supporting. I'm not sure. Okay, so here I'm writing, I can display. What I'm trying to do here, different function prototype. Okay, so with different function prototype, it is not working, I guess. Okay, so no problem. Let me write here display A. Like I'm changing the function name. Okay, so now here what I'm doing, I'm calling here display A function. So now it will understand that this display A belongs to my base class. So it will call the base class method. Okay, so now see, it is just calling the base class methods. Why? Because these two names are different. So two names are different means there is no confusion. So it can assess whether it is in base class, whether it is in child class. According to that, it will call that method. But if I am having same name, then it will be calling only this method. Same name does not mean that it will call the parent method as well as the child method. No, it will simply call its own method because this method is overridden here. Now, if you want to access this method, then you have to access using super keyword. Okay. So understood this one? Yes.
Suppose I have doubt. Suppose there's a multiple hierarchy, different more than 2 levels or 3 levels.
Yes.
Then this super dot
only one. one class above. Okay, so if there is another class above it, it will not be able to access this. You have to write another super keyword inside that class. It will just able to like access only one hierarchy above. Okay. Then access can be used only one hierarchy above. Okay, now let you have 3 or 4. So according to that, you have to, according to these things, you have to write the super keyword. Okay. Now let this class is also extended from another class. Then another, inside this class, write super dot keyword. So it can access its parent class method. Understood? Okay. So now the thing is here, okay. I am able to access the parent class methods using child class object, right? Here, this is normal, okay, able to access parent class methods using child class object or child class instance. Now I want opposite, okay, using parent class instance call or access child class methods. Okay, so in normally this is normal, okay, using the child class, like we see here, we are able to access the parent class methods using child class object. Now I want to do the opposite. Then here I have to use the concept of polymorphism, or first I have to use the virtual keyword. First, let's understand what is this polymorphism, then I will explain its advantage. Okay. Okay. So now here what I'm doing, this is function.display class object. So instead of class child class, I'm creating a parent class. So class A. Parent class object, okay. Class A object 2. So here what I have done, I have created a memory for parent class and I am calling the method of memory class. So it is normal, it will call the method of memory parent class only. Okay. Inside parent class. Why? Because I have created the memory for parent class and calling the object means definitely there is no chance of child class. Now my requirement is that I will be like creating method for this, creating object for this class, but I want to use whatever the methods written here. You understood my requirement? First understood what I'm doing here. Okay, after that I can explain you what is the. Okay, so if I want to achieve these things, so here just I have to write virtual. Okay, inside the parent class. Okay, sorry, here one more things I have to do. Okay, so class object. Just 1 minute. So these things I have to do the class assignment here. Okay, subject equal to name. Okay, just 1 minute. So my class object. Yes. Okay. So now my requirement is that I want to use this child class properties. Okay. So if I want to use this child class properties, the method is to first create the child class memory. See, whenever you are creating memory for child class, automatically parent class memory will get created. Okay. But if you are creating a memory only for parent class, then child class memory will not be created. So you have to create for it. Okay. So first create child class memory, then do the class assignment. That means parent class object or base object should be equal to your child object. So here what happens, this is simple class assignment. That means my parent class and my child class should point to same memory. So in this way, whatever the values in child class that I can access through the parent class. We are getting it, or should I explain once? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me explain another thing. Okay, so this is my parent class, and inside my parent class, I have one child class. So initially we see if I am creating anything, I can access whatever is defined here. Okay, not like this. Okay. This is my parent class. Now, how my child class exactly look like? Child class looks like this. So child class looks like this. That means, remember, this green part is child class. Don't think it is a big means it should be parent class. No, this is child class. Why? Because this child class can access whatever the methods, whatever the properties written inside the parent class, plus it may have its own properties and values. Right? So this one is my child class and this one is my parent class. Okay, so it's very easy. Whenever I'm creating a memory for child class, automatically memory for parent class will get created. I can access all the properties through the child class object. This is the inheritance concept. Okay, so now my requirement is that I want to access whatever the things written here through this one. With using parent class object, I want to use the child class methods. So what is the process for it? First, normally we have to create a memory for parent and memory for child. So I have created one memory for child. Automatically the memory for parent will get created. Next, my work is to do the class assignment. That means whatever the pointer holding the child class object, my parent class should point to that handler also. So by using this, I can simply access the child class properties, right?
Yes.
You understood what I'm doing here? So here I'm creating a memory for child class. Then so here by default, the memory for your parent class will also get created. So I'm using base object equal to child object. Whatever my base, so here I'm doing simple class assignment. That means your child class, sorry, parent class or base class object is pointing to child object. So this is my requirement. So I have done that only. Okay, so I have declared one child class memory. I have declared one parent class memory. I have created memory for the child class. Then I am doing the class assignment. Okay, so by doing so, whenever I am calling ob2.display, so it should call the child class methods. This is my requirement. But here we can see it is, it should call the child class methods. But here it is calling the parent class method. Even if I am doing the class assignment, so doing the class assignment means they should point to the same memory, but still it is calling the parent class method. If I want to call it, want to use that, it should call the child class method, then I have to use the virtual concept here. If I'm writing virtual keyword, then instead of parent class, it will call the child class method. Okay. So now using the base method or base object, I'm able to access the child class methods. I want to able to do this. Using this one, I'm able to use these things. Okay, just tell me you understood these things or you have any doubt here? Understood. Okay. So simple, if someone is asking you what is polymorphism. So polymorphism means using base class method if we want to use the child class properties. Okay. Then we can go for virtual method like virtual keyword, and inheritance plus virtual keyword is known as your polymorphism. Here we are using inheritance concept plus virtual keyword. In simpler word, these things, yes?
Yeah, so what is the kind of application for this?
I will tell application. Okay, first you understood these things, what I'm doing here. Okay, then I will do the applications. And remember, your UVM is nothing but inheritance plus polymorphism, or you can say simple polymorphism. Polymorphism concept is only used in UVM. Okay, first let me again explain this polymorphism. Okay. Because some students get confused about like what is this polymorphism. Okay, so this is my class. Okay, and remember the function name should be same. If it is different, then I don't have any issue. But function name should be same. Okay. So method handles of your superclass can be made to refer the subclass method. That means using the base class object, I will be using the child class properties. That is my polymorphism. Okay.
Ma'am, in polymorphism, yes, function has to be same.
Function name should be same. If function name is not same, then I don't have any confusion, right? What is happening? Function name is same. That's why my inside the child class, parent class method is getting override. So I have some like confusion which it should call. It should call the parent or it should call the child. But let app function name is different. Then you just type that function name. Let here I am writing display A. And function name is different means I don't have any advantage. So display A. So here I will be writing display A.
Means polymorphism is for the same function name.
Same function name. Function name should be same. Okay.
Okay.
So inside parent class. Now I want to call the child class method. So instead of display A, I will be writing simple display. So it will call the child class because display method is defined in the child class. Why it is not happy? Okay. These things I can do here. See, this using whenever I'm creating memory for child class, as it contains the parent class, I will be able to access these things. But using the parent class method, this one is also important. Remember, using this parent class methods, I won't be able to child class things. Like if you have different names. Now see here, I'm getting the error. But these methods I can show display data. Just 1 minute.
My class is variable one, OB1, I guess.
No, actually the thing is that for this display method, it is giving me error. I have never tried this kind of things. So I'm just looking into it. Okay, I will look into it and let you know. What I'm trying to say, whenever I'm doing this class assignment, that means whatever the methods I have inside this one, I should be able to use it. But here I'm not able to use it, this display methods.
Ma'am, OB2 parent class is accessing child class here.
No, OB2 child class, OB2 is my parent class, right?
Yes, parent class is accessing child
So
class. Displays.
here, okay, here I have done the class assignment.
Yes.
That means, okay, whatever the object 1 memory, that is now indicated to object 2. Now, whenever I'm doing object 2 the display, I should be able to use this one, but why I'm not using it, I will go through it and let you know. Okay, because I'm able to use the variable 1. In variable 1, I don't have any issue.
But without using class assignment, will it be possible?
No. In variable 1 also I'm getting issue. Yes, tell me.
And without using class assignment.
Yes. Then also, yeah. I guess like this we can use it. Yeah, if it is from child and parent class, then we have some different kind of things. So here object 2, object 1, object 2 to variable 1. But just try to understand this concept. This is my parent class and this is my child class, right? Child class has more memory than parent class. It may have, may not have, but definitely parent class is has lesser memory than my child class. So if I'm creating one object for child class and I'm writing parent equal to child, my parent class has less memory. So it can point to child memory. It will come under the child class memory, not a problem. But if I'm writing child equal to parent, child class need more memory. My parent class has less memory. So it is not possible to directly point them. Here I need one method that is known as dynamic casting. So here I need dynamic casting. Okay, these things I will tell you later, but just for now, remember these things. Okay, you can easily use to point parent child class, like parent class to child class, but child class cannot point to parent class. Here you need some dynamic casting concept. Okay, so now let's move to our previous part. Okay. So now here two things. Okay, if it is not the extended class, I cannot use this concept. Here I have to use dynamic casting. As it is the extended class and I am assigning parent to child, so it is possible here. So next one is if I want to assess the child class properties using base class methods, then I have to declare the virtual here. This function as virtual. Okay, so understood or here I have any doubt?
Oh, understood.
Understood, okay. So here 2-3 things you have to remember. Okay, just you again go through these things. If you have any doubt, then I will be explaining again because this small polymorphism, it is little bit confusing. Okay, while explaining. While moving to UVM, like, you don't have to remember all this syntax. Already they have defined all the things. You just have to remember in which class, which methods are defined and need to extend it from which class. Okay. So here first polymorphism concept, and then you just tomorrow explain me why this thing is possible and this thing is not possible normally. Okay. So now next one is when, like, where to use this polymorphism. Okay. Now let me go here. if any kind of function like a verification environment you are writing only using SystemVerilog, no UVM, there you may need to implement your own polymorphism concept. But nowadays we are mostly using UVM. Language is SystemVerilog, like that class creation, object creation, all these things are SystemVerilog. But some things that polymorphism, copy method, print method, instead of defining our own method, we will be using the methods that are already defined. Okay, so now see, this is my UVM class hierarchy. Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay, now you can see here this is my UVM object. This is a predefined class. Now inside this class, they have used compare, copy, pack, unpack, print, record, all those methods. Now, whatever our own things we will be writing, that remains here. This UVM driver, UVM sequencer, UVM monitor. From this, we will be writing our own methods, like system like environment. Now, how can we use these methods that is defined here? Now you can see from this class is extended. From this class is extended. From this class, all these classes are extended. Now, at some point of time, I may need to change the things. Now here, look into these things. Okay, here I have written the display function. So whenever I am writing this class, I have no idea about what I should write inside the function. So I just left it blank. I just declared the function name and I left it blank. Because I have no, just let me copy these things first. Because I have no idea what should be my function body, or this function body, but it is assigned to some other person. Okay, you just try to think what can be the logic for this, then we can go on writing the function. So my work is only to define how many functions are there. So I have defined and written it inside this class. Now one way is whenever I want to add that thing, I may come to this class and I may need to add here. Okay, just try to understand. Okay, the requirement. This is one class. Inside that one class, I have written some 10 functions. But I don't know, I have no idea about what are the functions may be written. Okay, may be required. Okay, now from this 10 function, another class, it may need some 5 kind of things. And there is another class. It may need some 4 functions. So you just tell me how can I achieve these things? There is the function I have defined. Okay, but I want to write those function body part later. So one way is inheritance. Inheritance means if I am extending this class from here and this class from here, then I can easily write the function definition here. So it will got overridden. So through the inheritance, I can achieve it. Now, next point is that, okay, I want to use these functions using this object. Because whoever is writing this code, he need to write all the logic using that function logic also. I know that I will be using function like this, but I don't know what is written inside my function. So now whoever is writing this, he will be writing with respect to this class. So how am I able to use these functions using this class object? I have to declare that function as virtual. So that in the child class, they will be writing the function body part. I don't have to worry about it. I will be writing my own code using this function object, sorry, this class object. Understood the requirement of polymorphism?
Please repeat once more.
Okay. Okay. Let I have one class scoreboard. Inside their scoreboard, so scoreboard classes I am used to check the duty output with required output. Okay, and remember in the class code we simply mimic the behavior of duty. how the duty should be behaving. Okay, so there we may need different functions. Let I have three output for my duty. So for three output, there will be different output logic. So I may write three functions to compare three outputs of duty, right? Up to this understood?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now so I have just written three functions. So three function definitions I have written here. I don't know. Okay, I have no idea what I should write inside the function. So three function definitions I have written here. Now this is base scoreboard. Okay. This is my another scoreboard class. This is also I am writing. Okay, so now inside this class I know that okay, there is these three functions. Okay, I have to use these three functions to compare the three output of duty. So I will be creating a object class base scoreboard object 1, then object 1 equal to new, then I will be using the object 1 dot function 1 to compare the first output of duty. So I will be using with respect to this class object, right? Up to this, yes, understood? Yes. So now the thing is that if it is a big project, if it is a small project, I can do all the things. Now let it is a big project. Now the output part is assigned to one guy, output 2 part is assigned to another guy, output 3 part is assigned to another guy. So they will be writing in different classes or in their different things. So I cannot wait for them like they will complete, then they will give their code to me and I will copy paste here and I will go on writing. No. I will be writing these things. Object A dot function A. I will be compiling these things also. It will not give me any compilation error because this function A is present here. I have defined it here. So they need to I just need to declare the function as virtual here. These three functions, I need to declare it as virtual. And whatever the classes they have written there, I have to extend. Like I have to behave such that those classes are extended from this class. So now using this class object, I can use whatever inside their class, whatever the functions they have written, that function logic.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
The second class, you're not extending any. Are you not extending that?
I am extending now. Okay, this class scoreboard. Yes. I should be extending it. Okay. Again, it's up to me. If I'm extending, then if there is anything written here, I can use this thing. Normally we extend this. Okay. But here what I'm saying, my main aim is that object 1. Using this class object, I'm writing. See, in this thing, even if I'm not extending, it is not any error. Why? Because I'm creating object for object 1 and I am assessing the functions of this one. Right? Okay, for this scenario, you just tell me, will be there any error if I'm not extending it?
Because it is like it looks like a pure inheritance. There is no polymorphism. I'm not saying that polymorphism.
Here there is no polymorphism. Polymorphism will be where now somewhere I have defined this function a body. So what I'll do, class let function a logic. This is my class name. This must be extend class base scoreboard. Now inside it, whatever the function a I am calling here now, this function a I have to write here. Function a, then some definition. then end function and end class. So whenever this logic may be of 1000, 2000 type like lines. So whenever, so individually they can take, okay, so first what that engineer will do, simply remove this one and he will write this code and he will check whether it is compilation free. Compilation, there is no compilation error. So after writing the logic, I can take the code, I can add these things. Now whatever this new function A I will be calling, now it will simply come here and call this function body part. Before writing this, what it will do, here I have defined, okay, function virtual function A and function. So before this, it will be simple calling this function. So I will be not getting any compilation error. After I add this one, it will be coming and calling this function. Understood? Okay. This is one thing. Okay. Another thing is that let you have written some logic here. Let here you have written something. But later on, you may need to add some other logic. So one way, just come to directly go to base class and add that logic. Another way, leave base class. Don't do anything inside the base class. Whatever the new logic you want to add, go and add in the child class. So that my base class function is safe. I am not doing any modification to base class. I am going and simple adding the things in the child class. And using base class object polymorphism concept, I can access that function, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Rajendran, you understood?
So that is adding to the child class is nothing but inheritance.
See, it is inheritance, but using object class method, I am using child class functions. That is polymorphism. Polymorphism equal to inheritance plus virtual concept. It is not different from inheritance. Without inheritance, there is no polymorphism. Polymorphism is equal to inheritance. Why inheritance? Because it must be extended class. We see, okay, without extended class, it is not possible. So inheritance plus virtual keyword. Why I need this virtual function? If I am using this virtual keyword, then only with using parent class object, I will be able to access the child class method. Without virtual, it is not possible. We see here, if I'm not writing virtual here, then it is not going to call the child class method. So inside parent class, it is calling the parent class methods only, but I want to call the child class method. Why? Because in child class method, some new logic are added. I want to access that new logic. So I have to write it virtual. Now I am able to access the child class methods. This is practical. You just think, okay, you have written some code. After some time, they have changed the duty specification. So according to your duty specification, you need to change your scoreboard logic also. So you cannot directly go and change in the base class. So instead of it, you can extend one child class from the base class and you can do whatever the logic you want to change inside the child class. So that my original function is safe. I am just doing the modification inside my child class. Now let here, okay, so when I declared that base class, I thought that only these data values I need to display. But when later on, I just feel that no, I need two more variables, I need to display those values also. Then I cannot go and add these things here. It will look messy. So I extended one class, added those things, and used this polymorphism concept. Polymorphism concept means this line. Assigning object 1 value to object 2 and using the object 2, will be able to access the child class properties.
The type class you're talking about the type cast that sorry, casting.
Casting. Casting concept. Okay, you just go. Just think. Okay, why I need this casting concept? Parent class memory is less than child class. You just see here. Which memory is more? In the child class, I can add more variables. And automatically, whenever I am creating memory for child class, it is creating memory for parent class. That means child class memory equal to child class memory plus parent class memory. Right? So this is my child, this is my parent. So if so whenever I'm creating a memory, so my child class has more memory. Parent class is less, so parent can easily point to child because it is less, it requires less memory. So whatever the memory it need, it can take from here. Not a problem. But if I'm trying to, this is my parent class memory. I am trying to point child class to it. Child class need more memory. So how can I point it to it?
So this method we are not, so this casting is not applied here, but still it's working on the example of
so here why casting is not required, because I am pointing my parent class to child class. So parent to child, normally I can do, but child to parent, I need dynamic casting. During runtime, it will check and it will do the casting.
So let me summarize. We have two methods. One is using the virtual function at the parent class, and the second method is typecasting, where you have to assign the child class.
No. Typecasting method, don't think like now. Just forget about dynamic casting. I will tell that later. Why I explain dynamic casting? Because here we try to do something now, object 1 equal to object 2 and we get error. So that's why I explained you dynamic casting. Here there is no concept of dynamic casting. First you tell me what you understood about polymorphism. Forget about dynamic casting. Okay.
Hello ma'am, I need to leave.
Yeah, you can leave. Okay, just this much is for today. Tomorrow we'll be explaining the next thing. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so Rajendran, tell me what you understood about dynamic casting. Sorry, polymorphism.